Hey you, welcome to the ultimate women's guide to what to wear to an interview. Now I know you're super busy prepping all of your answers, but I don't want you to forget about your first impression. And how you look and how you dress is so important at an interview. So we're gonna go over when to wear a suit, what kind of shoes to wear, what kind of colors to wear, what to wear in the warmer months versus the cooler months, and 3 different ways to express your personal style. All right, that's a lot, let's get started. I think the most common question is when to wear a suit. I always recommend erring on the more conservative side because 9 out of 10 times, a suit is going to be a great fit. I have heard, however, that some companies actually don't like to see people wear suits to interviews. I live in the Portland, Oregon area, so Nike is a very big employer around here, and I know Nike doesn't like when people wear suits to interviews. They don't see it as fitting their company culture. I've also heard of other companies not hiring people because they didn't wear a suit. So if you're interviewing for a company that is steeped in its culture, then I think it's really important to call and ask what is appropriate for an interview. I think there are other exceptions to this rule too, depending on what kind of job you're applying for. I think most of us are going to end up wearing a suit to an interview. And I could do a whole nother video just on how to pick out suits. And so if that's something that interests you, please leave me a comment down below letting me know. Let's talk about shoes. When deciding what kind of shoes to wear to an interview, you really have 2 options, and those are flats and heels. Now, a couple rules about these. You don't want heels that are too strappy, and you don't want open toes. I don't know why open toes are a thing in the workplace, but I guess toes are just kind of scandalous. In general, err on the more conservative side and not show your toes until maybe later, once you know the toe culture. Oh my gosh, I just said toe culture. The other important thing about heels is that you need to be able to walk in them. No dinosaurs, no stomping around. We talked about this in last week's video, but it's really important that you're wearing heels that are comfortable enough to walk alongside someone. For example, if someone is escorting you to your next interview, and maybe that is a couple blocks away, which I have done, it is really important that you can keep up and that you can walk really gracefully. Trust me, it is really embarrassing if you can't walk in your shoes. Okay, let's talk about different colors. Now, you can't go wrong sticking to neutrals like black, gray, navy, tan, white. Neutrals go with everything, so you're not gonna offend anybody with those colors. But more common questions out there is actually around the colors red and pink. You've heard that red is sort of like this powerful color, a statement color. You know, a lot of guys wear red ties to interviews. Now, girls, we don't have ties, so do we wear red to an interview? And my answer is if it matches your complexion, then it's on the table. If you're wearing red to make a power statement, then I think it's gonna look forced. But if you would normally wear red and maybe red is one of the colors that just looks beautiful on you, then wear it, go for it. The other question is around the color pink. And I think there's some apprehension around the color pink because it can come across maybe a little too feminine. I disagree. I think if you can pull off pink, it looks good on you, then do it. I love a good blush pink or maybe some pink integrated into a blouse. I think that looks really nice. Now, if you're trying to decide whether to wear a hot pink blazer to an interview, then I think it's time to reevaluate because I think that could work in the office, but it might not be the best choice for an interview. Unless it's some kind of art field, in which case more self-expression and color can actually be a good thing. So now let's talk about what to wear in the warmer months versus the cooler months. Here, I'm going to circle back to the suits conversation to emphasize how important it is to have at least one suit that you really love. Then get a pants version and a skirt version. Same blazer, pants, skirt, they all match. That way, no matter what the temperature is, you have an option that will help you feel more comfortable. But in the summer months, err for lighter blouses, airier blouses. Here you can opt for a dress. Now that's a whole nother video, so if that's interesting, let me know in the comments below. Okay, now on to the colder months. I think it's really important, in addition to opting for the pantsuit, that you add 2 pieces to your outfit. The first is a nice wool coat or a trench coat, something you can put on over everything so that when you walk into the building, you look polished and put together and warm. The second one is possibly even more important, and that is to make sure you're wearing gloves well before your interview starts. That way, when you shake someone's hand for the first time, your hand isn't an ice cube. You want that first impression to be as perfect and on point as possible, and having an ice cold hand can be distracting. Now, I think it's really important to be expressing your true self during the interview process. And one other way you can do that is through your style. So here are my 3 ways you can express your personal style during the interview. The first one is through your jewelry. You want to have a couple pieces that are your go-to interview pieces. They very subtly express your style, but they don't scream it. You want it to be so subtle that the interviewer doesn't quite pick up on it, but at the same time, it expresses you. The second way is through your shoes. Now, there are 2 different ways you can express your personal style through your shoes, and whether those are heels or flats. The first way is through color. Now, before you run off and grab your favorite pair of neon heels, let's rein that back a little bit. And what I mean by that is by picking a color that doesn't just match your outfit. It kind of goes. So one of my favorite ways to do this is actually by wearing an all black suit and either gray heels or nude heels. It's a little bit different, it's a little bit unexpected, but to me, black heels with a black suit is ultra conservative. The second way is to wear a shoe with a little bit of interest on it. Now, whether that's through texture or color blocking, maybe a little bow or a little bit of hardware, that is a way to express your personal style and who you are without it being too distracting or overwhelming. The third way to express your style is through your handbag. Your handbag plays just as important role as the rest of your outfit. If you walk in with a mismatched handbag, people are gonna notice. So if you have a handbag that is still very clean lined, very traditional with a little bit of interest, that can also do wonders to showing off your style. So a lot of these pieces I just talked about can be pretty expensive. And so the more you can find pieces that work at work and on the weekends, and vice versa, the better. And so if that's something that interests you, check out my video on 10 hacks for work to weekend style. I think you'll find it really helpful if you're trying to balance how you express your style on the weekends and how you express it at work. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up down below and subscribe, as I would love to have you back. Thank you so much again, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye.